YouTube, what's good, man? It's your boy Jason from the Lock Talk. We're here to break down every single game in the MLB today for June 6th, 2025. So if you're with me and you want to get my view for all the games on this big slate for Friday, Payday Fridays, let's get straight into it, baby.
Let's smoke the books.
The Lock Talk.
Hey, man. First, I want to say, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Friday. We have a lot of games, and maybe the weather isn't the best in some places, but let's talk about these games. I'm going to go through it as quickly as I can. I don't want to make this another 30-minute video, so I'm going to skip over a lot of information, but I'm just going to give you my view and my high-level way I would take these plays. If you want to know every single play we got in premium, make sure you join my premium. Go to the description or link down below. You get every single pick from my VIP plays. But if not, man, let's go win these games. The first game on the board is the Miami Marlins against the Tampa Bay Rays. Looks like a lot of money is on Tampa Bay. And for good reason, man. Tampa Bay has been playing fairly well. They have Zach Littell starting against Edward Cabrera. And first, let me say, if you bet on that Marlins series the other day, you were getting absolutely cooked because the Marlins got swept by the Rockies. And I was saying it through at least the last video. I thought the Marlins were just too big of favorites. But now they're finally dogs. They're plus 160 where they rightfully should be, in my opinion. They're playing in this very small ballpark, the Yankees training facility in Tampa. And, I mean, I'll be honest, man. Zach Littell has looked excellent. He had a really shaky start to his season, but Cabrera has not looked good either. Very tough game. I don't think I would personally want to lay minus 160 with the Rays, even though I do think Littell has been a better starting pitcher. They have the better bats. I do think the Rays win, but I do think the value is with the Marlins. So I would take, honestly, the Marlins plus 160, plus 1.5. I think this could be a close game. I do think Edward Cabrera has a lot of potential. His problem is just the walks. He does give guys a lot of walks and opportunities to get on base. So for sure, there definitely should be dogs, but they might be a little bit too big of a dog, in my opinion. And I think they could bounce back after getting swept and getting embarrassed by the worst team in the MLB, the Rockies. And Miami has some hitters, man. They could definitely get some runs on Littell. No way I would want to lay minus 160 with the Rays. So for me, it's dog or pass. Give me the Marlins at plus 160 money line. Or if you want to be a little bit safer, you could do the plus 1.5 as well. Next game on the board, we have the Philadelphia Phillies against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And man, look, yesterday in MLB in premium, we went 2-1. The only play I lost was the Phillies' first five. I had Max Fried over his strikeouts, and I had the Astros money line against this Pirates team. And now the Phillies are traveling all the way from Toronto to Pittsburgh. So, I mean, they're kind of almost back home. But I'll say, look, Bailey Falter has been a lot better as of late. 4-3 record with a 3.0 ERA. Pretty solid. While Joe Ross, 1-0, 4.50 earned runs per 9. I mean, he's had a decent start. He has some strikeout stuff. I think he's a very, very solid pitcher. But obviously, I think it's a weird spot. They're traveling. Very short favorites. Phillies, they've looked okay against lefties. Pittsburgh's looked okay. I mean, I'll be honest, this line's a little bit sketchy, a little bit weird. And I will say this, man. I do think, I will say, the Pirates and the Astros had their game delayed, so they actually played the last game of that night. So they played a night game last night. Luckily for the Pirates, they don't have to travel. I don't know. This game is just so strange. Phillies obviously got embarrassed in their last game against the Blue Jays from Toronto. So travel spot in Pittsburgh. I think for sure the Phillies are the better team. But this line is very weird, man. I'm very sketched out. I'm surprised they're this low of a favorite, minus 124. A lot of money's all over the Phillies. But I honestly think early in this game, Bailey Falter could maybe hold his own and keep this game somewhat close. So I'll take, honestly, Pirates plus 122 on the money line. I'm going to take the dog in the spot. I think this game with the travel spot's a little bit weird. This line's a little short. I'll put some more research into this, but give me the Pirates at a decent price, in my opinion. All right, guys, next game on the board. We got the Texas Rangers against the Washington Nationals. And Texas, man, they got Corey Seager back. They looked a little bit better. Michael Soroka for the Nationals against Patrick Corbin, man. Patrick Corbin, he's kind of had a resurgence to his season, man. I mean, he's definitely stepped it up as of late. Yeah, he's gotten cracked in a few games, but for the most part, even when I went to that Yankees game where he played very well. So he's definitely turned his season around, turned his career around at the kind of the end of his tenure part in the MLB. But man, Rangers they did not fare too well in this Tampa Bay series. They still got swept, even though I'd say their bats look a little bit better. Nationals, we got the one win in that series against the Cubs. We got the 201 at plus 115, and they got absolutely smoked in their last game. So I don't know, man. I do think that this is a close game to call. I don't like Patrick Corbin, but I don't like Michael Soroka either. The Texas Rangers just have not been hitting that great. Maybe this is the one that they could maybe possibly step it back up because the Nationals bullpen is not that good. But the thing is, Patrick Corbin has terrible history for the small sample size he has against his Nationals team. I don't know, man. I honestly think that just given how the bats have been playing and how good some of the stars kind of have been, I don't know, man. I probably am going to skip this game. But for me, I honestly would lean with the Nationals, man. I think the Nationals, even with their worser bullpen, they've had a lot of good history against Patrick Corbin. He has had some trouble with left-handed bats. And I think at this shorter, at the plus money price at home, Soroka, he's not looked the best, but this Texas team has not been able to hit. So until they prove that they can hit and win games, give me the Nationals at this plus money price, man. Fading Corbin, but hey, Corbin has definitely done very well. All right, guys, the next game on the board, we got the Boston Red Sox against my New York Yankees, man. And look, New York got the job done yesterday. Max Fried, blowout winner with his strikeouts. But, man, look, Boston, big dogs on the road, but I think for a good reason, just because I do not like Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler has not looked good, giving up a ton of chances, a lot of walks, but he actually has pretty decent numbers against his Yankees team. Barely above a 300 weight average, batting average, and then close to a 500 slugging, which is a little bit concerning because the Yankees for sure can definitely crack him. I mean, I've seen him get cracked before. He gives up walks, and he gives up a lot of chances. Will Warren, though, he's definitely stepped up. He's had some spots of brilliance. I mean, one of them was against that Rangers team, but remember, that Rangers team, they were not hitting at that particular time. In his last few games, though, I do want to mention one thing. When he played the Dodgers, got absolutely cracked. But obviously, the Red Sox are not the Dodgers. They are a good hitting team, but definitely not the Dodgers. In terms of his splits, he is much worse against left-handed bats. And I do want to show you this. Let me see. I got to refresh this probably. Let's take a look. Where's the – right here. Look at some of the beginning lefties on this team, man. Jarren Duran, Devers, Abreu, Mayer. I mean, you got some – tough dudes to play against. With that being said, where do we go from here? I honestly think I like the over in this game. I do think Will Warren can get cracked. And I also think the Yankees can get to this Red Sox starting lineup and even their better bullpen. For sure, I'd say the Red Sox have the better bullpen as of late. But I don't like Walker Buehler. The Yankees bullpen, even though on paper has been very good, they've actually been having a top 5, top 10 bullpen in all metrics. I do think we can see some runs in a good weather environment, but there's a possibility that it does rain out. So definitely be careful if you're going to bet player props, pitcher props. But my lean would probably be the over or maybe trying to attack maybe Yankees team total. But I do think Walker Buehler does get cracked. All right, next game. And I'm not saying this guy from New York, man. But before I get into the next game, man, guys, please, if you're watching this long, please hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, put a number 8 down below. You'll be entered into a free daily card, which I'll give away at the very end of this video, man. So I'm trying to keep aware of time. Next game we got the board. We have the Astros against the Cleveland Guardians. And like I said, man, Astros played a night game. Now with travel on the road, they were not supposed to play that late. So they basically played an equivalent of a Sunday night game with travel to Cleveland, Ohio from Pittsburgh, which is not the worst travel spot in the world, but Cleveland also had to travel, but did not have that same, I guess, expectation. They knew they were going to play the Yankees and had to go back home. So pretty even in that respect. But yo, man, look, the Guardians have not been able to hit anything, man. Guardians have not been a good hitting team. Houston's not really putting their best pitcher up. Chase Gordon's been, I'd say, pretty average at best to a certain extent, but. Yeah, man, it's a tough game. I mean, I think the Astros definitely have the better starting lineup in terms of hitting so far. I mean, I don't know where the hell the Guardians' bats have been, man, but definitely not been that good. The one thing I would say is Logan Allen has pretty poor numbers against this Astros team. Colton Gordon has not faced this Guardians team, so that could be somewhat of an advantage for the Houston Astros. But it's a tough spot, man, for the Astros. Look, both teams did travel. I don't know, man. The big thing has really been the bats. Astros, they've been able to hit on the road clearly. They've been able to hit left-handed, right-handed pitching fairly well. In terms of Colton Gordon and what he's been worse at, he's been worse against right-handed bats, pretty good against left-handed bats, which the Guardians do have a few good guys. But look, man, Colton Gordon has faced guys like Tampa Bay Mariners, Tampa Bay again, the Royals, giving up 2 or more earned runs in all of them. This is a spot where he can bounce back and have a better game. I don't know. Very tough game, man. I think the spot favors the Guardians, but I do think the bats and maybe even the starting pitching is on the side of the Astros. But I have to make a pick. I don't know. I want to go a little bit contrarian, even though I said all those things, right? I don't know. Something tells me that this game is super strange. I probably would avoid it, but I'll go with the Astros, man. I think the Astros have the better lineup, better bats, and I think Gordon probably bounces back here, but I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. This is one of my least favorite games on the board, Guardians, Astros. All right, guys, next game on the board, we have the Chicago Cubs against the Detroit Tigers. Tigers are decent-sized favorite, man, minus 182. We got Tariq Skubal against Ben Brown, and look, it makes total sense, man. Detroit, Skubal, been a beast, man. Been a beast. I faded Skubal his last game, and we got the job done with the Royals, plus 1.5. They won outright. So is this one we want to do with this the same way? I don't know, man. I think Chicago Cubs have not been hitting left-handed pitching that well. And Detroit, I mean, they did play the White Sox, right? So you can't say too much, but it's definitely be one of their tougher game series. Looks like the weather is very favorable for the pitchers. So I think Tariq Skubal has a great game. If anything, I think maybe the play might be Chicago Cubs team total under. I don't think they get too many runs off Skubal. And if the environment is that positive for, I guess, for the weather, I mean, both teams this game might be decided by a very low margin of victory. But I don't know. I don't know why this total is so low. Only seven runs. There's definitely something I'm missing, but I think Skubal definitely gets the job done. I think Detroit is rightfully favorite, but I would not want to lay minus 1.5. To me, it's really, you try to bet something in the prop world, or, you could lay the 1.5, but I don't know. Brown has definitely looked a little bit better, and I really want to see where Detroit's bats are actually facing a more decent team. So I think Detroit gets the job done. I'm not saying anything too crazy, but it's probably a game I would avoid personally. All right, next game. I actually think this game could be very interesting. We have the Arizona Diamondbacks against the Cincinnati Reds. We have Nick Lodolo of the Reds against Edward Rodriguez. And Eduardo Rodriguez he's had spots where he's done very well, but he is a pitch-to-contact type pitcher, which to me is kind of concerning. He has good numbers against his Reds lineup. Very low expected batting average, low slugging. Nick Lodolo, only 12 pitching attempts against this Diamondbacks team, but he's done fairly well as well. Rodriguez, though, I mean, he has not. I haven't seen him pitch in a decent while, but he hasn't pitched since May 15th. In that game, he gave up 4 earned runs against the Giants, and then the game before that, gave up 6 earned runs to the Dodgers. So he has not fared too well in his last 2 starts, and we've seen him struggle primarily away from his home field in Cincinnati's small park. Cincinnati, obviously, one of the best hitting environments today by far. It's not even close. And look, I think this Reds lineup can definitely get to him. I mean, they've not been the best hitting team always at home, but there's definitely a chance they can definitely get to him here. I don't know if he's played this Reds team this year. I'm going to take another look, quick scan. Yeah, I don't see him. He hasn't played him this year, but he has played him before. Nick Lodolo, though, he's had spots where he's looked amazing, but then other spots where he's looked terrible. Diamondbacks have been hitting lefties a lot better recently than probably the beginning of the season. I mean, we saw them get to Chris Sale, got the job done against him. So, hey, man, I think the Cincinnati Reds are in a good position to possibly win this game, but the Diamondbacks as well. I like the over more in this game. I think we can see runs on both sides. But if I had to pick a side, I don't know. I do think the pitching is maybe equally as vulnerable to getting cracked. I do think the Diamondbacks have a pretty bad bullpen, but I do think who I think have the better bats right now, I think the Diamondbacks do. So in a back and forth game, I think the Diamondbacks win, but I like the over more personally. And all right, guys, next game on the board, we have a lot more left. I'm gonna try to speed through these, but this one's tough, man. Kansas City Royals against the Chicago White Sox. Dean Martin against Seth Lugo. I honestly think the Royals win this game. This line's a little bit short in my opinion. I'm pretty surprised that it's only 1.5. But I guess Martin's okay. He's not like the best pitcher in the world. Seth Lugo has gotten cracked. He's not the old Seth Lugo, but hey, man, this White Sox team's been they've been okay, man. They've had games where they won. They beat Detroit in one of the games. They blew them out. So there are spots where they have done well. Davis Martin just has not pitched that well against this Royals team. Lugo's had history against this White Sox team and has done well. I mean, I don't know. I think, to me, you have to lay probably Kansas City Royals run line or nothing. But I don't know. Maybe the other thing you could do is maybe Royals team total over. I do think they can get to this White Sox starting lineup with Martin or their bullpen. Their bats have definitely been a lot better, and especially on the road in an environment that looks pretty neutral in my opinion. Let me see. Is it neutral? Yeah, it's not. I don't see anything too big about the Chicago White Sox. It's actually positive for pitching. It's probably one of the worst places to hit today. But I don't know, man. It's not a price I love. The price is a little bit weird. So, but yeah, I would say Royals in my opinion. All right, next game on the board, man. We got the San Diego Padres against the Milwaukee Brewers. Chad Patrick against Randy Vasquez, and I'm just gonna cut it short. I don't think Chad Patrick is that terrible. I don't think he's that amazing either. But I do think Randy Vasquez is terrible. He is not starter quality. He gives up way too many walks, way too much contact. And in an environment that, it's not, I guess there is some wind. So there's definitely a possibility balls can be hit and carried. I don't know if I would want to lay, I don't know if I want to back San Diego even as dogs. I think Milwaukee, first 5 money line. I need to get the job done against Randy Vasquez. Padres obviously have decent bats. They've not been the best as of late. Milwaukee's definitely had the better bats for sure. And I just don't like the start. I think the starting pitcher is a mismatch, even though Chad Patrick isn't amazing in his own right. But Randy Vasquez has not been good, man. So, yeah, give me the Brewers first 5. All right, guys, we're almost halfway there, man. But let's get to it. The Toronto Blue Jays against the Minnesota Twins. Looks like there's a lot more money on the Minnesota Twins, but let's see. Let's check it out. Minnesota Twins. Oops. Just got to click on the game. My bad, guys. We got Bailey Ober against. Oops. Oh, it's not popping up. We got Bailey Ober against Kevin Gausman. I'll simply say I think, Blue Jays, obviously, their bats have been very good, especially at home. They got to travel now to Minnesota. Minnesota had obviously an amazing showing against the Athletics, even though they got absolutely romped in their last game against the Athletics. But I do think Minnesota has the better bullpen. I do think Ober, even though he's had his struggles, is the better starting pitcher. And I do think their bats have been waking up. Obviously, we'll see against probably a better lineup in the Blue Jays, but I think this game is going to be close. Even though I would love to take Toronto and that big plus price, I don't trust Kevin Gausman more than, even though I don't really trust Ober too much. I think Minnesota just has the better overall lineup, the better bats, the better bullpen. Starting pitcher maybe a little bit better for Ober. So give me Minnesota minus 155 on the money line. All right, guys, we have a few more games left, and then I'm out of here, guys. So let's see. The next game we got on the board is the Los Angeles Dodgers against the St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis not getting too much love, but Dodgers for sure getting all the love. Sonny Gray against, I forgot how to say his name, Robolski. I'm not going to try to chop his name up, but Sonny Gray, he's one of the few actual stars that have had, I think, over 120 pitching attempts against his Dodgers team. And he's had very good numbers, man. He's also been very successful this season so far. 6-1 on the season. He's only lost 1 game. And surprisingly enough, the only game that he lost, I actually bet on the Cardinals in that game. But, hey, he's been excellent, man. I can't take anything away from him, even though he did kind of screw me in that 1 game he did lose. Justin Robolski, he's only had 16 pitching attempts, so nothing much to bring from there. Look, I think at this short number, even though the Dodgers are very good this year, I think the Cardinals have the better starting pitcher. So I'll take this St. Louis Cardinals first 5 on the money line. You can take them whole game as well. I think their bullpen's also a little bit better. Dodgers bullpen's been okay. They've definitely given up some games. They also had a pretty big series with the Mets. But yeah, give me the Cardinals on the money line. I think Sonny Gray, he can maybe continue his good performances. Even though he's had large history with this Dodgers team, I think he performs well here at home in Busch Stadium. Give me the Cardinals money line at a short price, man. I don't think it's a bad price at all to pay. All right, guys, we're almost there. We got a few more games left. Next game, New York Mets against the Colorado Rockies. Rockies, man, sends the Tella against Kodai Senga. Kodai Senga did fairly well in his last game. He did give up one home run. Rockies, I mean, Senzatella has not been good. He got absolutely cracked. The question is, what do we want to do? Is maybe the Rockies' confidence back up after getting a sweep against Miami? I don't know. Obviously, Mets are traveling. This will be another travel spot. They just played in LA. Now they're going to Colorado. Rockies already seen Kodai. I don't know, man. This is a interesting game, man. Very interesting game. I do not like Santantella. I think he gives, again, way too many hits, way too much contact. He got absolutely cracked in, I believe they played in New York. So, I don't know, man. He's not fared too well. Kodai's done pretty good, though. I think Kodai's in a decent spot to maybe have another good performance. I don't know. I would not lay. I think the value's all over the Rockies, though. I think probably maybe the better spot to play could be the over. Santatella's already been seen by this Mets team. You already know he's been terrible. And Kodai, I mean, even though he could possibly wipe out this Rockies team, he got hit. Maybe this is the Rockies bats are waking up. They're back home in a good spot for them where they played a little bit better. I'd say there's no value betting on the Mets. You have to bet either Rockies some way or do the over. I'll do the over, man. Give me the over 10.5. I know Senga is very, very good, but maybe he gives up a few runs here after being seen for more than a few times by this Rockies team. And all right, guys, we got 3 more games left. We have the Seattle Marlins against the Los Angeles Angels. Kyle Hendricks against Bryce Miller of the Seattle Mariners. Hey, look, man, I mean, Angels been a pretty solid team. Mariners, they've hit historically much better away from the home field, which makes total sense. But the Seattle bats have not been that great. Kyle Hendricks, though, he's actually had pretty good numbers against this Mariners team, surprisingly enough. And look, this Angels team has hit fairly good, man. They've hit fairly well. I mean, I loved actually the series against the Mariners and the Angels. For some reason, these games have always been fairly exciting. But, I mean, Miller, though, even though he's had a decent amount of pitching attempts against his Angels team, he does give up very, very hard contact. And that's not going to be good in a spot like in Angel Stadium where, I mean, the weather's much better and it's a little bit more prone to runs than where he usually plays. And he's not looked good in his last 3 starts. Gave up 3 earned runs against the Twins, gave up 7 earned runs against the Blue Jays, and then before that gave up 4 earned runs against the Athletics. I think there's a lot of value with the Angels at plus 134. If you want to be extra safe and do plus 1.5, I don't mind that either. But give me the Angels plus 134 on the money line. I think it's a good spot for the Angels and Hendricks. Maybe the best way, however, to do it, though, I'll be honest, is to take the first 5 money line or first 5 run line because that Angels bullpen is terrible. Mariners bullpen has not been as clutch, but for sure, on the numbers-wise, Mariners bullpen is better, even if they put their B lineup of their bullpen. Angels have historically been known, especially for me, as a team that just chokes at the end, even if they get good leads. All right, guys, next game on the board, we got the Orioles, bro. The Orioles, JP Sears against the man, Dean Kramer. Dean Kramer against JP Sears. And, man, look, this game, I don't know if JP Sears is going to start because then he just kind of came in the rotation against the Twins. But if he's the starting lineup, we'll see. This all can change, though, so definitely be careful. But let me see. I'll pull it up on this sheet right here. Let's see. Let's take a look. Maybe, yeah. Right now, it's still JP Sears and Dean Kramer, so we'll see, man. I think this game, the totals already says 11 runs. This game is going to be crazy. I think if there's been any game where the Orioles bats could wake up, it definitely could be this one. And at the same moment, I mean, Athletics, Dean Kramer gives up a lot of walks, a lot of contact. The Athletics bats, they could definitely wake up. I mean, the weather is very, very good for runs today in Sacramento. So it's the second best right behind Cincinnati. So for me, this number is extremely high, but I think we just see runs. It doesn't matter. Winds are blowing at over 14 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, this number is higher for a reason. Who I think wins? Maybe. I don't know, bro. I think you really go either way. I think maybe the Orioles bullpen is a little bit better, but that's not saying too much. There's another travel spot for the Orioles, but I don't think it's going to be too terrible. They just played in Seattle, so it's not far travel spot. Give me the over, though. That's my pick for that game. All right, guys, the last game of the board. If you've been with me this long, man, I just want to say thank you so much. It really helps me. It really keeps me motivated to keep on dropping these plays, man. But we got the Atlanta Braves against the Giants, man. Hayden Birdsong against Schwellenbach. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think obviously the Giants bats, they play a little bit better at home, even though they have not been playing that great as of late. Atlanta Braves obviously been an excellent team. Their bats have definitely woken up for sure. But I think Schwellenbach's definitely probably the better pitcher, but I think Hayden Birdsong's not too bad either. Both bullpens very good. I mean, honestly, so most people, I would just honestly lean the under, but I think the team that wins, the under. But I think the team that wins is probably going to be Atlanta. I think Atlanta, even though Giants bats are very good, I think Schwellenbach is a little bit better of a starter. And I think these bats are a little bit better than the Giants bats, so I think they win a close, low-scoring game. So give me the Atlanta. But if you want to bet a total, I will lean with the under in this game, especially given the ballpark weather factors. San Francisco is probably one of the worst places to pitch today. So, I mean, to bat today, given just where the winds are blowing out, but very, very low pressure, low temperature. So, I mean, I do think, however, Atlanta is in a better spot for this game. In terms of, like, their schedule right now, this is actually will be their first road game. So, you know, it's a far travel spot. They just played in Atlanta all the way to San Fran. So, they did play yesterday. So, maybe the bats are a little bit tired. That's why I kind of lean more with the under more than the over or more than the side. But I do think the Braves bats, ever since they got Ronald Acuna back, has been excellent. But all right, guys, let's get straight into what maybe you've been waiting for, and that is the comment generator. We're going to pick the winner from the last video of my YouTube. So what I'm going to do really quickly is go to the video of the last one. And I'm going to, see, hold on, pause this. And see, I'm going to try to go down. So we put the link from that video. We didn't get that many comments, man. So if you guys leave a comment, you guys seem to be having a really good shot to win a free daily card. But let's get some comments right here. We got 9 unique comments. Wow, okay. So let's see. And the winner of the last video, if you want to know what that last video was, it was right here. If you commented on this last video, like all these guys right here, you have a chance to win yourself a free daily card. So, all right, guys, let's get straight into this one. Congrats to everyone. Well, thank you to everyone who's been participating and showing love. And the winner of today's free daily card is Thuggerman Jones, man. Shout out to you, man. Leaving that number 8. If you guys want to be in the next giveaway, leave it at number 8 down below. Again, to the next one, man. I'll see you guys over there.